Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into the ultimate American dream, and that is owning your very own piece of the great outdoors. I mean, just imagine stepping out onto your own acreage, breathing in that fresh air, and knowing this land is entirely yours. It's an amazing thought. But let's be real for a second. You also want to do this without completely emptying your bank account, right? So, we're going to look at the top 10 cheapest states today to see how we can actually make that dream a reality.
Now, there's a specific quote from our research today that really hits the nail on the head. Finding affordable acreage shouldn't mean buying future regrets. And honestly, that is exactly why we're here today. We've all heard those total nightmare stories. People buying a cheap plot of dirt only to realize they can't even legally access it or they aren't allowed to build what they want on it. We're going to make sure that absolutely doesn't happen to you by sticking to the facts.
Okay, I want you to think about this number for a second. $600. $600, that's literally less than a lot of monthly car payments. But according to the latest data, that is the lowest entry price per acre you can find today in the United States. No way, right? It's incredibly cheap, and it definitely sparks some intense curiosity about where exactly this land is, what it looks like, and honestly, what the catch might be.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the dream of cheap land. Then, we'll hit the top 10 most affordable states. Third, we'll take a deep dive into the top contenders. Fourth, the reality of raw acreage. And finally, 4 rules for smart buying.
All right, Section 1, the dream of cheap land.
So, why are people searching for raw acreage in the first place? Well, it really boils down to a massive emotional driver, escaping the city for wide open space, absolute privacy, and total ownership. Whether your ambition is to build a self-sustaining homestead, set up a private hunting camp, or just create a quiet off-grid retreat away from all the noise, you want your own slice of freedom. But here's the thing about real estate. If you let your emotions drive your wallet, you're going to get burned. A smart investment requires cold, hard data and a really clear understanding of the market.
Which brings us to Section 2, top 10 most affordable states.
And this brilliantly illustrates the landscape of affordability right now. It's fascinating. On the outer edges of the top 10 cheapest states today, you have places like Arkansas for wooded homesteads, Missouri's Ozark timber, Arizona's desert parcels, or Texas with its massive scale and zero state income tax. But look closely at the data for our top 5. We've got North Dakota's agricultural plains, Montana's Big Sky wilderness hovering around $1,200 to $1,500 an acre, Nevada, Wyoming, and all the way up to New Mexico at number 1, boasting prices as low as $600 to $1,000 an acre for off-grid desert. You really have to notice the huge diversity here. We're talking everything from wooded homesteads in the south to vast open deserts out west.
Let's keep moving. Section 3, deep dive, the top contenders.
We are zooming in on the ultra-cheap Southwest and West to understand exactly what is driving these incredibly low prices and what these specific states actually have to offer. Just look at these bottom dollar entry prices. New Mexico at $600, Wyoming at $900, and Nevada at $1,100 an acre. The sheer affordability is just staggering. I mean, imagine a buyer looking to build an off-grid solar setup. They could go to a place like Luna County, New Mexico, and secure a massive parcel of land for less than the cost of a used car. It is a completely different real estate game than buying a suburban lot.
Let's break down what you actually get in these regions. In New Mexico, specifically places like Luna County, you're looking at ultra-low entry points for wide open desert acreage. Wyoming, that gives you sparse populations, massive vistas, and gorgeous high desert space. Nevada counties like Elko or Humboldt offer vast remote parcels with incredible dark skies, which is absolutely perfect for extreme privacy. And then, look at Colorado down there. While a place like Aspen commands millions and millions of dollars, southern rural corridors like Castilla County in the San Luis Valley offer beautiful flat or rolling acreage at an absolute fraction of the cost.
All right, time for a reality check. Section 4, the reality of raw acreage. So we've seen the low prices, and we've felt the excitement of the open West, but we really need to ground this in hard facts. I want you to ask yourself a very important question. But why is it so cheap? Seriously, before you pull the trigger on any purchase, you have to provoke some critical thinking about market realities. There is always a reason land is priced at $600 an acre, and you absolutely need to know what that reason is.
Well, here's the trade-off. You are swapping city amenities for the off-grid reality. Instead of municipal utilities magically taking care of everything, you might be hauling your own water tanks out there or drilling super expensive private wells. Forget paved roads. Say hello to unmaintained dirt tracks that might literally require a 4x4 just to get home. You're trading reliable grid electricity for the responsibility of installing your own solar or wind setups. And while the city might feel nice and mild, out in Wyoming you are facing harsh winters, or in Colorado, incredibly quick weather shifts. Basically, if you want absolute privacy, you have to be prepared for absolute self-reliance. You're essentially trading your cozy city plumbing for a real pioneer experience.
Okay, let's talk solutions. Section 5, 4 rules for smart buying.
As we navigate this data together, I want to equip you with the exact tools you need to avoid making a bad investment. Because how do you buy cheap without buying cheap problems? So the crucial point is to follow this buyer's checklist religiously. Rule number 1, access. Always confirm legal access to county-maintained roads. Never ever rely on random dirt tracks crossing private property. Buying landlocked dirt you can't legally reach is a total waste of money. Rule 2, utilities versus off-grid. If power lines are miles away, factor the cost of solar or wind into your budget, and definitely check those water table depths. Rule 3, zoning restrictions. You need to call the local county planning department to ensure your specific dream, whether that's an RV, a tiny home, or a homestead, is actually legally allowed. And finally, Rule 4, clear title. Always verify ownership records with the county assessor and use reputable sellers, no exceptions.
And speaking of reputable sellers, our source data highlights the rise of direct-to-consumer platforms like LandLimited.com. These platforms specialize in making this whole process safe and accessible. They offer transparent pricing and, get this, flexible owner financing plans without even requiring a credit check. What this does is it completely removes the traditional real estate agent friction. It allows you to secure a tangible piece of America without even needing a massive commercial budget or jumping through endless traditional banking hoops. It's a real game changer.
All right, as we wrap things up today, I want to leave you with this provocative thought. What does your off-grid dream look like, and are you ready to do the homework to build it? Knowing the top 10 cheapest states today is just the very first step. You now have the data, you understand the off-grid reality, and you are armed with the 4 smart buying rules. You are officially empowered to start your own smart land investing journey. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this data helps you find your perfect piece of the outdoors. See you next time.